Hello and welcome to the Indian Classical Guitar Academy. Today I'd like to talk about a very interesting pattern taught to me by my guru Shakir Khan. I'm in the middle of producing an in-depth video lesson for this as part of the new section of the Raag Bageshree course that you can access as a member of the Indian Classical Guitar Academy. Thanks very much for watching and enjoy the video. To give you an example of some of the things that Shakir was teaching me and the simple mathematical principles that are underneath them, I thought I would just explain this particular pattern which went into a wonderful composition in Bageshree. It's very similar to a concept I've heard Carnatic musicians talk about. It's the same concept really, of having a phrase that can become gradually shorter or gradually longer. So this one becomes gradually shorter. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you can play it with one note less, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then with another note less, so you get 1, 2, 3, and then just 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And it could be, you know, the other way around. It could be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's different ways that you can play around with that. It's a rhythmic idea, but there's a very logical just approach to the numbers. But it sounds very musical, and you can hear how the phrase is just expanding. It's really such a simple thing, but it can be interesting what is done with it when it's put into context and how it's matched up with the structure of a composition. So there's a pattern like this that I used on a recent recital I did for Shakir. That was the one I did for the Guru Purnima celebration. So if I just play it to you with a metronome in the background, then you can see how it fits over the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. But then what happens is that we start using the mukra phrase of the composition, which is so the important part that we look out for is this. Okay. So what happens with that pattern is we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And that third one lands on the beat. So I was doing a gap of 2, so there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 composition. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then that lands on the first beat of a 16-beat cycle. So you can hear that being played with the tabla to give it a bit more context. So in a sense it's a mathematical rhythmic idea, but when you just listen to it, it just sounds very pleasant. It's just a nice musical phrase, and the way that the rhythm plays around kind of sounds a little bit, there's a bit of rhythmic tension, especially as it builds up. It gets gradually closer, so the first repeat of lands in a certain place, and then the next one lands a little bit closer to the beat, a little bit closer to beat 1, but it's a little bit early, so that one feels a little bit uneven, it feels a bit strange, and then the last time that you hear it, it just falls right back into place. So it's got that sense of rhythmic dissonance, a bit like how we would think of a chord change. In Western music we have a chord, and then you hear another chord that makes you want to go back to the first chord. So it's a bit like that harmonic dissonance, but it's rhythmic dissonance. So it's interesting, when you listen to it, it doesn't actually sound like it's anything that complicated in a way. It kind of just breezes over you. But when you break it down, it's got these mathematical principles, and in a sense they are quite simple and logical, but they're not that easy to play. It takes a while just to get the right feel and to be able to keep that pattern, stay true to that pattern, even though it's shifting over the beat, and it can easily feel like you've lost the beat where you're supposed to be, because you have to keep that independence while the tabla is holding that 16-beat cycle. But if you keep your bearings and stay true to the pattern, then you will land on the first beat. So that's part of the magic of these rhythms, and it's such a big part of this style of sitar playing. If you want to start one of these courses, you can buy them individually, or you can subscribe monthly to access all of them. For subscribers, there will be new content every month, including live streams where we can answer your personal questions and go into more detail about applying this material. So far we've covered Raag Yaman, Raag Bageshree, Jog, Hamsadwani, Kafi and Raag Malkauns, and there's much more to come. This body of work is a culmination of the 18 years experience I have as a guitar teacher, combined with the knowledge acquired through studying the sitar directly, and then adapting that material using the guitar techniques that suit this style best. To create these courses and gather the most authentic material possible, I work closely with other Indian classical musicians such as Manish Pingle and Gurdain Rayatt. I'd like to give a special thanks to my guru Roopa Panesar, who has guided me in the creation of these courses. Much of the material has been adapted directly from my training with her. Also Shakir Khan, my guru, who's been inspiring me immensely and continues to shape how I approach the instrument and this incredible world of Indian classical music. So come and join us at the Indian Classical Guitar Academy to start this journey. The first 50 subscribers will get a reduced price every month for the whole duration of their membership. So come and be one of the first guitar players to realise what it means to be an Indian classical musician.